So we run the meetup groups in Vancouver for Android and iPhone, and you can see there's more and more people who are signing up for those groups. We also have just started the Qt meetup group in Vancouver, and you'll learn more about Qt today from Martin. Another thing that's pretty interesting to people is our engineering and testing services. We don't have a substantial engineering and test environment, but we have things that are targeted towards the customers and what they're asking for. So one of the big ticket items is our handset rentals. So we have about between 354 and 400 handsets right now that are available in our library. People can come in for $10 a day, use as many handsets as they want. If they bring their own data plan, if they want to use our data plan, $25 a day for a handset or a series of handsets. And those are accessible, obviously, physically in our library in Vancouver. But another capability that we have through a company called Perfecto Mobile is to make all of that available virtually, if it's a smartphone, anywhere in the world. So you can reserve a Nokia N8 in a slot in the Perfecto harness. There's a high-definition camera that's looking at the screen. There's skinning. You can run it right onto your screen anywhere in the world and actually be playing with that device on a live network sitting in Vancouver. You can do the same thing anywhere else in the world if you want to test your application through Perfecto on a network in the Middle East, in other places. Perfecto is a cloud-based solution, and they've got physical handsets all over the world through partners. So this is a great thing. We try to, as much as possible, make all of the services that we offer virtual so that you don't have to physically be present at our facility to use them. So for example, our usability lab, we have a full usability lab where the kind of usual two-room setup where we have people can run focus groups or usability studies in one room, you can watch from the other, but then you can also watch from anywhere else. So we can actually be running a usability test in Vancouver for someone who's sitting in Atlanta, Georgia. And in fact, we've done that. So that's another one of the capabilities we have. We do have some test equipment on the hardware side, the usual kind of things, call boxes, some small chambers that we can do some more focused testing. So we have some of that capability. But for most of the big metal, we use partners. So if someone wants to do some testing in some kind of lab, we have arrangements with either universities or other companies so that people can get their hooks into those kind of pieces of equipment without having to do a $1 million capital outlay. And finally, we do have live access to a number of networks, two that are of note. One is that we're the Orange Development Center in Canada. So for anyone who wants to release an application on Orange's network, we are live on Orange's network in Vancouver. So we are backhauled right to Bristol, England. So if you're testing in our space, you're actually running on Orange's live network in Europe. Similarly, we have a hook into Ericsson's R&D facility in Montreal. So there is a live network in Vancouver. If you want to access any of the testing capabilities that Ericsson has, you can do that through our facility. And this is more if people are doing some kind of deep integration with the infrastructure side. So you may be hitting directly on some of the infrastructure APIs or something like that. We can hook into Ericsson to facilitate those kind of testing services. Last but certainly not least, in fact I'd say most, is market linkages. One of the things we spent a lot of time doing at Wavefront is getting out into the world and developing relationships with other mobile associations around the world, international associations, also big companies around the world that are channels to market. So we know people in Nokia, we know people at Ericsson, we know people in a lot of the major companies that are the channels to market. So currently about 20 of these global partnerships, and this 265 million I think is well out of date. I think that the companies, the operators that we work with, I'd say we're probably closer to 500 million subscribers that we have access to through the partnerships we have with operators. Here's just some of the wireless clusters that we have MOUs with or some kind of relationship with. You can see pretty much representing all of the areas of the world. A little weak in South America right now, but we're building through our Mexican connections. A lot of the South American businesses run out of Mexico anyway, or is connected with Mexico. So we're building some of those relationships now. Just finally, a couple of pictures of things we do. This is one about market linkages. We have a relationship with Mobile Computing Promotion Consortium, which probably no one has ever heard of, but people probably have heard of NTT Docomo and KDDI and SoftBank and Hitachi and Sony. MCPC is the organization to which they all belong that is all about the mobile industry in Japan. We've got a great relationship with them, and they do technology scouting with us, such that we've taken some of these companies on the right side to Japan. And in our first trip last year, we took only 3 companies, of which 2 inked deals, I believe, while they were in Japan. And if anyone's done business in Japan, you know that it's not the easiest thing to do. But because MCPC understands who we are, they bring these companies in. It's a trusted relationship, and then MCPC is the one who introduces them into the environment in Japan, so that they have a partner immediately who has credibility in that market. So these companies have done a great job of getting into Japan and actually starting to monetize, because that's one of the best markets to work into to monetize your applications. We do technology scouting for other companies, and of course you'll recognize some of these. Some a little more curious than others. We do have a project we're doing for CIBC right now who's looking at how they can, what's going on in mobile commerce in general, not just mobile banking, but anything around finance and commerce. So we're helping them